Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and least talked about aspects of modern air power, Israel's hidden software edge in the F-35 fighter. While most people focus on stealth, speed, and weapons, the real story often lives inside the code. The F-35 is already considered the most advanced fighter jet in the world, designed to dominate the battlefield through data, sensors, and networked warfare. But Israel's version of the jet takes this concept even further in ways that are rarely discussed openly. Israel operates the F-35 Adir, a customized variant of the standard F-35. On the surface, it looks similar to other F-35s flown by allied nations. Under the hood, however, the software tells a very different story. Unlike most F-35 operators, Israel was granted unusual permission by the United States to modify and develop its own mission software. This is a big deal, because the F-35 is normally a tightly controlled system with centralized software updates. For most countries, the jet's software is locked down, meaning upgrades and changes come directly from the US and Lockheed Martin. Israel, however, negotiated access that allows it to integrate its own code on top of the core system. This means Israel can tailor the F-35's capabilities specifically to its regional threats. Instead of waiting for foreign updates, Israeli engineers can rapidly adapt the aircraft to new enemy radar systems, missiles, or electronic warfare tactics. One of the most important advantages comes in electronic warfare. Israel has decades of experience facing advanced air defense systems in the Middle East. That experience is now translated into software that helps the F-35 detect, jam, and deceive enemy sensors more effectively. The Adir's software allows it to process threat data differently, prioritizing regional intelligence gathered by Israeli sources. This creates a faster and more precise response during real combat missions. Another key area is sensor fusion. The F-35 already combines data from radar, infrared, and external sources into a single battlefield picture. Israel's software tweaks enhance this fusion, optimizing it for dense and hostile environments. In regions like the Middle East, airspace is crowded with radars, missiles, and surveillance systems. Israeli software helps pilots cut through the noise and identify real threats faster than standard configurations. Weapons integration is another major advantage. Israel has developed its own air-to-air and air-to-ground weapons over decades. Through software access, the F-35I can be adapted to carry and employ these domestic weapons. This gives Israel strategic independence. Instead of relying solely on foreign munitions, the Adir can use Israeli-made missiles and precision-guided bombs, all seamlessly integrated through custom code. There is also the issue of data control. The F-35 generates enormous amounts of mission data, which is usually shared through global maintenance and analysis systems. Israel reportedly uses its own data management solutions alongside the jet. This allows Israel to keep sensitive operational data within its own defense networks. In intelligence-heavy operations, this control can be just as important as stealth or firepower. Perhaps the most powerful advantage is speed. Software-driven warfare moves fast, and Israel's ability to update, modify, and deploy changes quickly gives it a critical edge. If a new radar system appears or an adversary changes tactics, Israeli engineers can respond in weeks or even days, instead of waiting months for external approval and updates. Combat experience also plays a role. Israel is one of the few F-35 operators that has used the jet extensively in real-world missions. Every flight feeds new data back into its software development cycle. This creates a feedback loop where combat lessons directly shape future upgrades. Over time, this makes the Adir more lethal, more survivable, and more adapted to its environment. It's important to understand that this edge is not just about hacking or secret features. It's about flexibility, independence, and deep integration between pilots, engineers, and intelligence agencies. In modern air combat, the jet that adapts fastest often wins. Israel's approach turns the F-35 from a fixed platform into a constantly evolving system. This software advantage also sends a message. It shows how air power in the 21st century is less about raw hardware and more about who controls the code. As wars become increasingly digital, the nations that master software customization will hold the upper hand, even when flying the same aircraft as others. So when you hear about the F-35 stealth or advanced sensors, remember that in Israel's case, the real strength lies in lines of code you'll never see. That hidden software edge may be the most powerful weapon the Adir carries into the sky.